I guess I don't know because you're not 40 yet.
Well, you're 40. Let me know how you feel.
I'm not 40. Don't.
How did you feel at 20, Lance? 20 years ago.
Not 40. Asshole.
Uh, Hello, fellow weebs and otakus, another episode of Anime Fix, where your fix for all things anime. I'm Chase,
And I'm Lance.
and let's hope this records. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, our makeup episode that we did last Sunday didn't record at all.
So I switched computers, and hopefully this is working now.
Yeah.
You want to say what we were going to talk about last time or not?
We were gonna. You know what? No.
No,
No. We're not gonna say
because it's gonna mess this one up. 'Cause that's what happened, right? What did we watch for this week though, Lance?
We watched Violet Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden.
The movie.
I watched all of it, but we're gonna talk about the movie.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I guess, man, what do you think?
It was really good.
Bro, so good.
Like everything, like the animation, the music, the voice acting, the story. I had questions. I had to look some things up at the end. I think I'm speculating might have gotten answered watching the series.
Okay.
But overall, I was taken back by it.
Yeah,
I'm
bro,
very
it's so
interested.
good.
And based on what I looked up, I'm very interested to read the manga.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it
me
goes
too.
into so much more didetail into who Violet Evergarden is and where she came from.
Is there a manga or is it just the light novel?
I'm sorry, light novel. Light
Yeah,
novel.
'cause I didn't think there's a manga,
Yeah.
which is sad. But
Yeah.
it was such a good light novel. It skipped manga and went straight to anime.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What things were you confused on?
So I guess where the universe takes place, right? Because they made some references to like the country they were in,
Mhm.
right? And but at the end, when they're watching the fireworks, we see the Eiffel Tower, right?
It's not the Eiffel Tower.
Looks like the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's all a fictional world, but like,
And that was my questions, right? That was
yeah.
where I was like, okay, they're saying they're in a country I've never heard of,
Mhm.
which is possible, but because I don't know over 200 some odd countries. I don't know all of them, but I'd
Yeah.
never heard of this. And then I see an Eiffel Tower. I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense to me. So I looked it up. Completely fictional world, fictional country, fictional continent, everything. Which once I knew that, then it kind of like, okay, now I can, now I understand where we are. Which would also explain to me. I don't know if you noticed or even thought about it, but Violet's arms.
Yeah.
So based on like the premise of the timeline or at least the time we were in, which is phones, like just basic landline phones are just now coming into existence, becoming more prominent, right? So we're talking a long time ago. She has these appendages that she can control and move as if they were fingers. And I don't know how many people would know this weird fact, but that kind of control has only existed in the last few years and is considered a breakthrough. So for her to be able to have that sort of like control over her artificial appendages in the time frame that they're saying, not possible.
Yep. Do you plan on watching the series on Netflix or not?
Yes.
Okay.
I do plan on watching the series.
I will not spoil anything then.
Mostly because like I said, I didn't read too much into it. I just kind of tried to understand what the universe was that I was watching, just to
Yep.
give more context. But also, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm going to watch the
Yep.
series so I can get some
Yeah.
more of those other questions answered.
Because if you watched the series, you would have definitely, obviously it would have set up, 12 whole episodes before the movie.
Yeah.
But
Well, the other question too, and I kind of spoiled it for myself, but like they keep referring to Violet as she's a tool, she's a
mhm,
weapon,
she is a
right?
weapon.
And
You saw in flashbacks of the movie.
I saw it in flashbacks, but not really. Like they didn't show her being a superhuman killer,
She's not
taking out.
superhuman, but she is a killer. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't say superhuman, but definitely a very efficient fighting weapon or
Yes.
fighting fighter. And I didn't really feel like I saw that. So like again, I cause like at first I thought maybe is this like a weird translation or bad translation? Like they keep referring to her as a tool. Then when I looked it up and I read, oh, okay, when they found her, she like took out a whole brigade of or a whole squad of soldiers, and they're like, okay,
Yep.
you're useful as a murderous 10-year-old, and so we're gonna.
Yeah. What was she 10 when they found her? I can't remember.
So I think there's some questions about it, but I think the popular opinion that I found was, or I don't think it's confirmed, at least not what from the little I searched.
Mhm.
But what I think they're saying, or what I read was they found her when she was 10. The whole war lasted about, or at least from her time coming into it, was about 4 years. So when the war ended, she was 14.
Yep.
And it's 4 years from when the war ended to the part in the movie that we were watching.
Okay, so she's 18 in the movie, and
Yeah,
then when the series starts, she's 14, which makes more sense. Okay,
yeah,
because she definitely looks older from the
yeah.
series to the movie. It makes sense because a lot of things happen too. But
Also
I won't spoil that.
explains it also explains why she's so like because that was the other thing that a question I had was um she seems so oblivious to some things that are being said by by people, like
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand what I love you means. What?
yeah. So once you
And
watch the
then
series, you'll totally understand it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely give more depth to the movie. But the movie I think is still good as a standalone. It's just those are some of the questions the
Hmm.
series would answer.
Yeah. How many heartstrings did it pull on you in that 2 hour window of a movie?
So I can think of a few. So one, the early on, when before we did the flashback, right, when we're kind of getting our setup, when she says to the mom, "I've always cared more about your work than your family."
Yeah.
It definitely tugged on my heartstrings. Not to say that my mom cared more about her work than her family, but growing up, she was definitely a hard worker and was gone a lot.
Yep.
And so, like that, from a kid's perspective, as an adult, I understand, but as a kid, that was like, you're working all the time. Why aren't you at my sporting events or my, the theater and all that stuff and
Yeah.
performances? So
Very
that
true.
that definitely pulled on my heartstrings. The the next one, I'm trying to remember all of them. So really the two, that one and then the one where Eustace dies. Is it Eurus or Eustace?
Eurus.
Eurus. When Eurus died and they're reading the letters and sort of that final goodbye,
Yeah, bro.
um, that definitely pulled on my heartstrings. Because I've kind of been in
That
that sort of
phone call.
situation before. I
Oh, you have?
Well, not in so much in the letters, but when my grandfather passed away, right, and that was a very emotional thing for me and really
Yeah.
everybody. But I remember someone who I never met showed up at the funeral. I said, "Oh yeah, are you Lance?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I worked with your grandpa. I just want to let you know these are the kinds of things that he would say about you at our job and how proud he was of you. And like these are all things that I heard that my grandfather thought about me
Yeah.
that he never said to me and no one else ever said to me. So a complete stranger. And so
Really?
that sort of like that scene resonated with me too.
No,
Because it's kind
man.
of like that, what you think you know about someone or what they think about you. And then when you find out kind of what they really thought about you, I mean, it can go either way. It can be either really bad or really good, but that's sort of like, oh, like I didn't realize that you kind of had, you sort of from, from afterwards hearing those things really kind of makes it sink in just how much you meant to someone, and also reminds you of just how much they meant to you.
Yeah.
And then another scene, kind of a little bit earlier, same Eurus, is when when he was just being a dick to his family,
Oh yeah.
and then we find out, oh, he's. I was like, what an asshole, and then you find out he's dying, and then just, oh my god, that really,
Yeah.
like kind of, you know, taking a second to question your first judgment of somebody because you don't know what they're going through. Because justified or not, there could still be a reason, and you have to kind of suspend your own ignorance of that, and be open to hearing, open to hearing or understanding. Okay, there might be something else causing him to be that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are probably the like
The
biggest. Oh, and the final one, obviously, when they
yeah, the
jumped off
final one.
the.
Bro, once you watch the series, it's yeah.
What about you? What was What really did we pretty much both have the same thoughts in those areas,
I
or
mean, honestly, most of it, yeah, because the all those scenes that you said, but also the final phone call when because it's a big character development moment for the third in command or the third best doll, the girl with the short hair that's
Mhm.
rushing to go write the letter for Eurus. It's a big moment for her to not use a typewriter and to use the phone
Yeah,
for him. That's a big character development, but also like them just Yuri's just apologizing and then also saying I'm sorry, like just saying I'm sorry and like I shouldn't have done that and stuff like that. Like that was
did we
hard
ever?
as well.
Is it covered in the series? Oh, probably not. But do we know what he was sorry for? Because I didn't catch that.
No, so Yuri's is not in the series. He's a brand new character for the movie. He is sorry for so remember when Violet is leaving the hospital the first time when she wrote the three letters for
Hmm.
Eurus and she sees a kid poke his head out? That's
Yeah.
his best friend.
Okay.
And Eurus doesn't want to see his best friend. He said, "I don't want to see you," because he was scared to have him see Eurus in that state. That's why he's saying sorry and apologize not to see him.
I think it's also a big character development, not only for the third best doll,
Hmm.
but also for Eurus,
Yeah,
even though it's late stage, because it's very hard to be vulnerable, especially in his state, but and to kind of share that, taking the opportunity while you have it to share those thoughts at the end, right? Because most people, I don't know about most, but I think a fair amount of people probably either never get that chance or too afraid to take that chance. I know for me, I would probably be too afraid to take that chance because
yeah,
you don't know which way it's going to go. They may be upset at you and not forgive you. They may be open, and then when you're kind of late stage, this is the last chance I get to do this. I don't know the risk that they may not be accepting of your apology, and that you have to go into this unknown, post life experience with the thought that the person you care about most, or a person you care about a lot, couldn't give two shits about you in that
yeah.
moment of your life. So it's like it's a very vulnerable,
It's very vulnerable for sure.
risky thing to do.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely is. Um, and then obviously a big part is Violet realizing that the Major is alive and
yeah,
realizing that the Major didn't come see her for 4 whole years. That's a big part of the story, obviously. And then, but I think Violet's character to me, and like what's it called? Like not genre, but like the I guess series. I guess yeah.
Yeah, genre is like a type. So
A
like
type
you have
of
an action genre, you have a
an
thriller genre.
isekai,
Yeah.
yeah, romance. So like Violet Evergarden, the series or the concept, I guess I don't know. Um, this is probably my favorite anime that we have reviewed and watched yet.
It's definitely, I think, I would have to say it's definitely up there with some of the, like, it's up there with Your Name, The Weathering with You, Silent Voice.
Mhm.
I think I wouldn't say that it is the best across the board, but I think it's the most solid across the board. So, like, if you were to break it up into, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but let's say you break up each movie into like, so many categories, like 5 categories, right? And you give, Weathering with You 5 out of 5 for the soundtrack, but like 3 out of 5 for the story, right?
Yeah.
And 4 out of 4 for the animation. And another movie, it might be, the animation isn't as good, but the story is better, all that stuff. But I think Violet Evergarden is the most like solid performer, like above like a 4 out of 4 across. I don't think it's each individual. I think the sum is greater than, or the sum of its parts is greater.
Great.
I think
Than all
it's
the other ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I don't want to, because I don't want to say that any one part is better than any other movie.
Yeah.
But collectively, it is a better movie.
So collectively, it's your favorite movie then?
If I were taking like the animation, the soundtrack, the story, the voice acting, I would say it's the most solid performer. I still really love Garden of Words.
I do too.
I think the animation in that is amazing. I love the story, how it's so short and sweet, but so full of depth. Um, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think it's not fair because I've seen the series, so I'm basing my opinion off of the series, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still struggling because like it's hard to, because they're all so good. Like this, they're all.
It's not even a contest with me, bro. Not even a contest.
Really, not even a
It's
contest.
Not even a contest. It beats out everything. It beats out Garden Awards for me. It beats out Weathering with You. It beats out obviously Kira. It beats out it beats out Your Name.
Everything
really
beats
does.
out Kira.
Yeah. I mean, it really does beat out everything that we've watched so far.
Yeah, it's a very well, everything's very well put together, and I guess that's what I struggle to say it's my favorite, because there are aspects of the other ones that I really like a lot more.
Yep.
And that's kind of like I'm copping out. I'm saying that the average of every component of this movie.
I feel like if when you watch the series, you might change your mind. I think because the series puts so much more context. It puts so much more emphasis on everything. It grounds each character. It shows each character's development. It's just,
and I think that because I'm very
part makes so much more sense.
Character driven. I really care about. I like to care about the characters and like to see that growth, and so like that's a good movie. It's not just a good movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Without spoiling anything, the movie brings in every single episode of the series to the movie. Every single thing on each episode is in the movie, which is crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so good.
Is that what you were talking about when you were like, if you watch the series first and the movie, there's a lot of scenes that you'll see again?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all everything about it, man. And like, and I'm basing my opinion or reasoning of why it's my favorite, the amount of times that I teared up or cried during the series. Every episode I teared up. Every single one, bro.
Okay.
Every one.
I will definitely add it to I will definitely be watching it. I'm very interested in reading the light novel.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm
still
definitely
haven't.
gonna
I
do
still haven't gotten through Silent Voice. I'm not allowed to buy it.
that. So I haven't started 5 centimeters per second.
Yeah, just not
So
enough time. It really,
I have tons of time, but I just haven't started.
I don't have tons of time. My days are
Uh,
pretty well booked, but yeah, no, I really really liked it. I kind of I wish I don't want to call her third best. I don't want to keep calling her
who?
third best
Who's
doll. So
third
I'm gonna look
best?
up the
Oh,
name.
what her name is? Yeah,
Yeah.
she has her own episode.
Oh, she does.
Yep, sure does.
Evergarden dolls.
Violet Evergarden's also a very kawaii character.
What is that?
Kawaii means cute.
Oh, so you mean like the characters are drawn very what do you,
No, well, like her personality,
okay.
because she knows she doesn't have any social cues, doesn't understand anything
Yeah.
about social wise or anything.
All right, let's see here. I got four
Was it
to choose
confusing?
from.
Was it confusing for you for the beginning part as well? Because it was completely different.
Yeah, so that was kind of really where I thought it was going, or I guess sort of like, and again, probably not watching the series factored into that, but I was a little confused because I didn't understand.
Her name's Iris, by the way.
Okay, cool. That was my second, the one I was going to look at.
Yep.
um, oh yeah,
It goes Violet Evergarden, and then it goes Catalea, and then Iris is the third.
um. I didn't understand. Like I saw like okay, so the character we're first introduced to, the girl with her mom and dad, and her grandmother's just passed away, and she comes across. I get the fact she's coming across the letters and learning Violet Evergarden, how she wrote a letter for her 50 years, and sitting there.
Bro, so
It sets the
sad.
back. It sets the sort of like what the story's about. But I didn't feel like that character had any relevance other than to facilitate the understanding of Violet Evergarden, which was kind of disappointing. I would have loved to have seen, if I were to add one critique, I would have loved to have seen more of a contrast between that sort of future and that past. Kind of how, so a really, I think an example of this is Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, I haven't seen Godfather.
Haven't seen Godfather? Okay.
I haven't seen any of them.
Haven't seen him? Okay.
You look so frustrated.
No, I'm not frustrated.
I watch anime, Lance. That's all I do.
Godfather Part 2, there is this sort of contrast built where they show, you have the present of that movie, right? Where they're showing the story progress, and then they have not really flashback because it's not the main character, remembering something. It's just showing us a past event that is contrasted with that present event, right? And so it's kind of like two movies in one, and they're related together in how they kind of like show the differences between the past character and the present main character, the past main character and the present main character, and how they approach problems differently, and just sort of like their background, where they came from, why they do what they do. That I felt like that could have been a really strong addition, showing kind of like the contrast between Violet Evergarden and that girl we meet, very frustrated with her parents. We kind of see some scenes of her trying to do some research and discovery. I would have loved to have seen more of that, kind of like her reading, you know, a book and reading about this event that occurred, and then you see that event play out, in the movie, right? Like the fireworks scene, because I think it's the most specific example. Like if she was reading about that fireworks party happened in that movie, and then we kind of see this flashback to that, and we see the events play out of Violet Evergarden at that event. I thought that would have been a really cool, strong addition to the movie.
So the crazy thing is, It
Is it in the
happens,
series?
but it's in the series. All of it is in the series. Every I don't want to ruin. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I
So
don't
what you're
know.
saying? Any criticism or critique, or not criticism?
No,
Critique I
not.
might have is just going to be in the series.
I, ju- what, what do you want me to say, Lance? What do you want me to say? I don't want to
Don't
spoil
spoil it
anything
for
for you.
me.
I'm not spoiling anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I feel like that specific critique will go away once you watch the series. I will say that.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear it because I think
Yes.
yeah, that would be fun to watch. And so,
Every one of her scenes is important. Every one of them.
what are you saying? I should just watch the series?
Yes, yes. I mean, so like another reason why the movie I loved a lot too is because it did tie a lot into the series as well. So, but I will say the series is better than the movie for sure.
So would you say when you okay? So when you say that Violet Evergarden is your favorite so far,
Yes,
are you being all encompassing from the series and the movie?
just series, I would say.
The series, okay. Would you say that the movie, if you were to remove the series and just look at the movie, would you say the movie is your favorite compared to your Silent Voices, your names, your Weathering with Yous, Garden of Words?
No,
Okay.
I'll give you that. No,
Okay.
the series beats out everything though.
Okay. Okay.
I definitely did the series better than the movie.
I
Not saying
will
the movie's
take.
bad though.
No. I'm not saying the movie's bad, but that kind of when you were like, it's my favorite. I'm like, I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite.
Hmm.
That's why I prompted me to ask: are you talking about the Violet
Yeah,
Evergarden universe or the series versus the movie? So,
I just love I just love the universe though too. I don't know. I mean, if you're talking
universe is very interesting.
so if you're talking about the universe, I would still say yes, it's better than everything else.
Now, something I
I
I
thought
mean,
that
I
was
can't.
Craig. Oh, thank goodness, not Craig.
Stupid Craig.
Come on, Craig.
Now this might be in the series. A lot of this, my questions might be in the series. Um, is this so? We know it's a fictional universe, right? But is it sort of like an alternate timeline? Like this is something happened, and this is kind of the universe that's been created from that, or is this a completely just fabricated?
There's a
Uh,
lot of tie-ins to like World War II, I think.
it'd be more likely be World War One.
More World War One, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Um,
the phone thing. Yeah, I would
yeah,
say that.
yeah.
But World War II is gonna happen soon, then, right? in Violet Evergarden. Well, they call it the
But
Great War. They don't call it the Second Great War, so it makes sense as being World War One.
yeah, they call it the Great War. They never thought another Great War would occur, so that's why, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see though a funny spinoff would be like Violet Evergarden, the Revenge. She comes,
Calm down. Calm
she was like,
down.
"You took my arms, I take, I take your soul." I don't
She's already on fire. I don't think that was in the movie, though, was it?
know.
No, that
No.
wasn't. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh, here's something that I found interesting, and it's probably or well, I found interesting was when I played on Netflix, it gave the when it gives you like the rating,
Yeah.
it said gore underneath it. Like it got that rating because of gore.
Yep.
I would only say there was maybe two scenes. I wouldn't even call them that gory, and the reason why I wouldn't call them that gory is I'm thinking of Akira and that final scene where that girl is crushed by the blob.
Fair.
And I'm like,
But
that was gory to me. This wasn't gore. This is just
you literally see her arm fall off. That's gory, bro.
you see her arm fall off, but you don't see the arm get removed.
I mean, you see it just land on the ground.
Okay, you see it land on the ground, but you don't see it being removed. And I think for me that is more because when I think gore, I think visually.
Disgusting.
I use this word loosely. I don't by any means think that's what it is. I would say visually spectacular. And and when I mean by spectacular, because I can't think of a better word, and I mean is
Okay.
like very showy.
Um,
Yeah, I don't mean spectacular as an
visually
enjoyable,
exciting.
huh? Visually
Visually
exciting.
exciting.
Um, in like this sort of like kind of like how in Silent Voice you see the bullying, but in Garden of Words the bullying is implied, and you're seeing kind of like the like that.
Uh, yeah,
So that's what I mean when I think gore. I think it's in your face. You're seeing the actual atrocity occur, right? Or malicious action occur that is violent, right?
okay.
And
Oh yeah, because
I didn't see that.
Violet didn't kill anybody in the movie, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
don't see her kill anybody. Yeah, we do see
Flashbacks.
the two big characters maimed, right? Now, obviously, he lost his arm. She lost both her arms. He lost his I think his
Left eye, right?
left
No, it
eye.
was right
Yeah,
eye.
right
Was it
right
left
eye,
eye? Right eye.
right eye.
Because it
Because
happened on the same side as his arm because of the explosion.
yeah.
Yep.
So you know that they were affected, and yes, you do see her arms fall off. You do see like, and like you realize what happened, but you don't actually see arms get removed. And for me, that's what I think of as gory. Right?
That's
And
fair. That's fair.
so
What do you think about the Major's decision to turn Violet away a lot?
selfish, totally selfish. I don't think it had anything to do with his regret over using her as a weapon. I think it has to do with his own shame
That he did it?
that he did it, and
Of
that is
course.
why he's turning her away.
Of course.
Uh, yeah.
I totally agree with you on that. I mean, to the flashback in the movie, because never mind. But in the movie, when the Major is crying as seeing Violet's left arm fall off first, and then her right arm fall off, and him crying, I pictured myself in that same situation, seeing a 14-year-old girl just huffing and puffing, not worrying about herself, trying to bite him to drag him away. How much like guilt do you feel on
Tons.
that? So much
It,
guilt.
and deservedly so. He put a
Probably scarred
child.
him.
Yeah. It scarred him, scarred her. I mean, she
She's fine.
is.
She's just a tool. It's okay. Just kidding. Yes, it definitely scarred her as well.
Whether
100%.
she knows it or not yet. Um,
No, she knows it. She knows it.
but yeah, I think you should feel shame. I think you should feel guilt, and you put a child through a very a horrible thing.
I'm not
And
sure if you caught this though, but like, if it wasn't for Gill, the Major, she would have been way worse off. Because the Colonel, is that his name? Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, his brother,
Captain,
Captain, yeah, Captain. He brought her to him originally, and he didn't give any care in the world about Violet.
isn't that funny? How or a really twist in that, and how at the post war, he seems to show more concern and affection for her
In the movie,
in the
yes.
movie than he does in the movie.
I don't know why I keep saying in the movie.
We have to because I don't have any background context.
This is for sure in the movie, yes.
And it is called The Movie.
It is
So,
called because there's another movie of Violet Evergarden too. It's a
this
spinoff.
came out this past year, right?
This one did. There's another one as well.
Is there?
There's another Violet Evergarden movie. It's a spinoff, like not immediately after the series, but like a year after the series.
Okay, because I thought this one was the 2020
It is.
movie.
There's one that
Okay.
came out in 2018, I think.
Oh, there is? Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I was reading stuff about it, I thought I saw something about it being released in 2021, but yeah, that probably means released on Netflix in 2021.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Visually speaking, animation's amazing as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Stunner. But Yeah, I found that was unique to me. How he kind of, they flipped sides where how the major was being completely selfish and disregarding Violet, and the captain initially disregarding her as just a tool. Now, over time, shows more concern about her, and also gets mad at his brother for being selfish. Like, how could you leave Violet? Not seeing her or like giving, letting her know how you are.
Remember that scene where they realize that the major's probably alive, and he goes and sees the captain, Hodgins,
Yeah,
whatever, and
the
and then
president.
the president, he goes and sees the captain, and the
I
captain.
the whole referring to everyone by titles throughout the kind of was
Yeah, I
a
know.
little weird. I don't want to say it was bad. It was just,
It's weird because they're all like used to be part of the military or are part of the military, so they have to use titles.
yeah.
But when the president goes to see the captain, and the captain's like,
By the way, he's not president of the country. He's president of the post.
yes, he's
The
president of
post.
the the postal service, and he's one of many postal services.
Yeah.
But the president, not president, the captain's like, don't you have any feelings for, don't you have any concern for Violet and everything like that? And Hodgkin is like, how dare you say that about her? You have no right. Did you feel anything with that, or did you understand what he was saying at the
I
moment?
I think at the moment I didn't understand. I kind of really Hodgkins, his character. I thought he
He's such a good guy.
he is such a good guy that I almost didn't like him because I thought he was
What?
too. Yeah,
What?
because it seemed like he was being too much of a tryhard.
What do you mean, try hard?
Like trying to like, how dare you talk about Violet that way? How dare you treat her that way? How dare like he's just constantly being offended for her, and that he is a good guy, but he was trying so hard. It kind of just is like chill out. Like first off, she does not need you. Okay, everything I read about her, she can take care of herself. So you need to back off.
He can physically, not emotionally.
She's trying though.
She's trying.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to let people
So
find their own way. Anyway, no, I don't think he's a bad guy. I just found him very try hard at times.
I guess the movie makes it seem like he's a. I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says, "Well, the movie may make it seem like that." I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says that. Give it to you.
So that's all I have. Yeah. So I
No,
thought
no,
it was
yeah.
try hard, and
I think this is in the movie.
and then
Go
also
ahead.
the captain, kind of like how after he got offended,
Yeah,
and he was like, "I'm sorry," and he apologized, and he kind of had a
very out of context for him, out of
yeah,
character. I mean,
yeah.
all I was gonna say is, do you see? There's a flashback in the movie, right, where Violet meets Major for the first time, and the captain's right there, right? Do you see what she comes out of?
No, I missed that.
She comes out of a tote that the captain brought her from another country, like a luggage bag. Skinny as a bone, and like a 10-year-old, skinny as a bone, hasn't fed her or anything. And then it's like, here's your tool, and gives it to his brother like it's just like a rifle.
It's just so messed
Because
up.
because that's definitely in the movie, so I can say that.
Yeah.
But like, that's why Hodgkins is so like, how dare you care about her feelings? You brought her
Right.
across the country in a luggage tote.
He's definitely himself. He's had some, and that's another big character development. He's grown
What?
over time. The captain, how he's grown from during the war.
Yeah, because war
Uh,
changes people.
uh,
Makes you someone, I think, that you don't typically would be. I think, as from the movie portrays. I've never been in the military, so I can't say for sure.
oh yeah, I mean, no, I think. I mean, I know people who have served, and I definitely know people who have served. A lot of
Yeah,
my family has served,
same.
and some friends and other. It can. it's not a guarantee, but it can change you. And from everything, I always like to ask this question, or I'm not going to say the question I like to ask, but I like to ask. There's a question I like to ask because I want to understand what their experience was like leaving the military and coming back to civilian life. And I'll suffice it to say that it can be very difficult depending on what you did and what you went through. It kind of it's a different beast, different animal altogether from normal civilian life that I think some people just don't understand. But I found it unique, or not unique, interesting how the captain. And we see him; he's kind of a hard ass, right? In the flashbacks, he's not. He's less of a hard ass, but he's still kind of hard ass in the present. We find out that he was actually very rebellious, a kid, and sort of like bucking his father's sort of
dream,
rule.
dream rule.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think there's an untold story there about how he went from being like the sort of rebellious, in your face dad to being like a strict military guy with very little emotion, to sort of circling back to his old self as he got older?
What do you think, like the captain or
No.
captain's dad?
Captain.
Oh yeah, they explain it in the movie.
Well, then I missed it then because like because I know he talked about being rebellious. I'm talking about like his transition from being rebellious to being, because he said in the movie his brother had to join the service and be sort of like a model son to make up for his older brother being sort of being rebellious.
Yeah.
But what we see in the movie is him going from being a rebellious kid in the flashback to
being in the military.
Being cold and emotionless towards other members of the military, sort of slowly coming back out of that as he got older in the present tense of the film. I guess what I'm interested in.
So I guess I didn't understand your question. So yes, yes, I think there is probably a deeper backstory, different meaning at the end. So I don't know if the captain joined the military, so his younger brother didn't have to eventually. You know what I mean? Because at the end, like that's what it showed, is the captain was going to take, the bourgeoisie or whatever, his last Bugavia, take that name and continue it on so he can live in peace with Violet.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that was his goal from the beginning or not. I don't know.
I thought that was very fascinating. Sort of his development. Like all the characters had even like some of the side characters, the non-main characters, had some really key development.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really good.
The only one that didn't have a key development is Catalea, I feel like.
She didn't. I think she was just there as eye candy.
For sure.
For of all the characters, she was the only one with a low cut top
in the movie. Yes,
in the movie.
Just kidding. I'm gonna keep saying that every time we review something now.
Did her character model remind you of the Bell Hunter from RE0?
Totally did, bro. Totally did.
I wondered if it was
brought back memories.
Memories of Subaru Natsuki getting gutted repeatedly.
Yeah, of the past lives of me before I ate these Temptations cat treats.
Any other thoughts you had on the movie?
I have a lot of thoughts.
Go ahead.
But on the movie, I don't know. No, I think the movie, we pretty much, I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. How did you feel about him living on an island of the opposite side he was fighting? of the side that he was fighting, living on that island.
I guess I didn't have too many thoughts. I thought it was.
That's very painful, in my opinion.
Um, I guess we don't, it depends because like he might have just because a group of people go to war doesn't mean the whole group feels the same way you do about the enemy. Some people are just doing it because that's what they're told.
All the kids hate him. Well,
Oh yeah,
without knowing that that's who he was.
All they know, and I mean,
A lot. It's true.
Is that their dads went to war and none of them came back.
And it was the opposite people's fault, and he was part of that.
Yeah, but they don't know that he was part of it. They just know that
only one old guy and one old woman does.
If he went AWOL, how many of their dads probably went AWOL? Because you got to think, you go to war, and let's say there are some people who join to get away from their life, right? And it's like an escape.
Makes you one awful dad, I'll tell you that. If you join to get away from your kids,
I totally agree with you. But what I'm saying is, some of those dads might have gone AWOL and are living on the other side too. We don't know. Yeah. It's just presumed that they're all dead, just like the Major was presumed dead. And I think it's within the realm of possibility that, because I would think if it was a total, and it makes me kind of want to know more about the war itself in the series. Because if like a whole side got a completely like you're telling me that one side completely eliminated every soldier of the other side, it's a massacre. It's not a war, that's a massacre. And so like I find it hard to believe that some of them
this is just one little island, a part of the bigger like country, I think, right? So all the men on this little island had to go, and even if they just got split up, or they're in the same company and the whole company got like bombarded by planes or ran into the Major and Violet's gonna kill all of them. That's for sure.
And that's the thing. We don't know we don't know enough about the story of the war in the movie.
In the movie,
to really
there's a lot of backstory in the
flesh that out. Yeah, I think it's within the realm of possibility, depending on the context, that some of those men probably survived, and some of them probably went AWOL.
That's fair.
To live a second life. I don't know if it would be painful for him, depending on because he may not have had an ill will against them. Like I said, he joined the military to appease his father.
He doesn't have any ill will against them. I think he's staying on the island because he feels responsible for none of their dads coming back, so he has to stay and help.
That could be it too. If he feels guilty about what he did to Violet, he probably equally feels guilty about what in using Violet he did to their families.
Yeah, so how they're so helpful to him when he was injured and everything, and helped him get back on his feet. Now he feels even more indebted to him.
So they didn't help him.
Oh, I know, but like they're helping him now.
Oh yeah, now he ended up somewhere anyway.
Yeah, but he just went to a neighboring like island to get away.
But yeah, I thought it was very like it probably is him, sort of making amends for his own crimes, his own guilt of the what he did. But ultimately, it's very selfish. I think it's all about self-serving to him. Him escaping from Violet, him running away from his problems.
Very true.
Him, go whether even being altruistic as it is, or not altruistic, but even
because it's not altruistic because he's benefiting himself.
Yeah, it's all to serve his own selfishness or his own or guilt.
Yep, his own guilt. That's for sure.
But yeah, I think I kind of I found it funny how they were like, how the kids were talking about him. He's got one arm and one eye, but he can run really fast, and he writes letters and teaches us things, and he built.
Yeah.
And they're so enthusiastic about having him there. Then when you hear them say the things that they do about the neighboring country,
Yeah,
like these kids are saying these things and they're angry and they're rightfully angry, but here they are, having a good experience with one of them,
I know.
right? And would they still feel that way? It goes into that sort of like what you think you know about somebody and what you see from that person, or it can be two completely different things. They
Yeah,
think that they know about his country, what they're experiencing with him, are separate.
yeah, it's very true. And I don't think everyone on the island knows where he came from. It's only like that one old lady and the one old dude, because even some of the moms don't like the neighboring country, right? If I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Well, I think I don't know about the moms, but I know the old dude. He kind of, sort of, with his wise age,
Yeah,
thoughts was like, really, we all suffered.
yeah,
We can be angry all we want, but at the end of the day, they suffered as much. They suffered too. We suffered. Everyone suffered. And this kind of, I just want to say this, that it's kind of, it's a movie like this that really gives you these in-depth life lessons and great story talking about the interpersonal nature,
hmm
that or the how people interact, that you don't get in traditional media, and goes so much more than just labeling this a cartoon, right?
yeah.
It's when you mention, oh, I watch anime, and you think,
You watch cartoons.
you watch cartoons. It's like, oh no, I watch a carefully crafted, visually stunning story about two characters and their own struggles with what they did and what they're doing, and how they come to terms with it, and how they interact with the people around them, how they learn
Yep. I'm
and
not watching
evolve.
I'm not watching an animated sponge living in a pineapple, you know?
Yeah. And anyway, it's a movie like this. Like all the movies we watched are top tier. Well, not all of them.
Which ones would you not say are top tier?
Sports Bubble, like Soda Pop.
What are you talking about? I
I'm just,
like that
I
movie.
know, I know.
I know.
I'm just being a butt. But,
Yeah.
but uh, this one I think really hones in on sort of like perception versus experience, and how you evolve over time and learn to deal with both of those, that you don't really get anywhere else, and I think that's amazing.
I guess it also is perception versus experience of what anime is as well. Of like people that think anime is kid friendly and not mature themes, where Violet Evergarden is like
Oh
completely
yeah, yeah.
opposite.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that this is completely adult only, but it's definitely got
No.
mature themes on it.
Yeah.
Um,
Themes that kids would not understand, I guess.
yeah. It's like the
Yeah.
kids it's just like the kids didn't understand. Like all they saw was their dads didn't come back, right? And so it's this other group's
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah, they
But they
left for
don't
milk
have,
and didn't come back.
but they don't understand. Like we don't know, did their island start the war, and the other one was defending, right? We don't know that. We don't
Yeah.
know if it was. We don't know. There are a lot of known unknowns, and what we don't know, those kids definitely don't know. All they have is stories that they're told, and what they're not seeing there, which is their parents, their dads. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it does. Yeah, that's a great analogy. It's kind of just bucks what you perceive anime to be.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about on the movie? Or a question you going to ask me about the series?
Um. So we all right. So the Major and Violet have this sort of like affection for each other.
Yeah.
In the movie, she's roughly 18.
No,
In
she's
the
18,
movie, oh
right?
yeah, 18.
Yeah.
maybe a little bit. We don't know exactly. I think, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
18. Um, and in the movie, the major is 39.
Yeah.
So, do you think? And this might be a little, but do you think that do you think that his guilt caused him to develop feelings for her?
Actually, no. I never thought about that actually. Maybe, but not that
Because
I
like
know of.
I ask it that way because obviously when they meet, she's a child. When they part, she's still a child. Clearly, she cares deeply about him.
Well, okay. See, in the movie, it doesn't. It looks that way, I guess. In the series, there's a whole episode dedicated to that age gap thing. Not necessarily with them, but with another
Okay.
couple. Um, there. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah,
Okay.
there is
Yeah,
an
yeah.
arranged marriage, which is sweet, but it has a higher age gap than even those two.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah. Well, not higher, I guess, but it is a big age. I would say it's the same age gap.
Isn't that, that's, kind of interesting how like 20 to 30 is a lot bigger of an age gap than 30 to 40 and 40 to 50. Isn't that, ever think about stuff like that?
Oh yeah. So like
The
if
difference between you and
if
your
it ends with
18-year-old
teen,
self.
if it says it ends with teen, it sounds way worse. 18, 39. Instead
But
of
no,
like, you
no,
know,
I'm not talking about so much in
28,
relationships.
49. Yeah.
I'm not trying to. I'm not talking necessarily in the context of relationships, but just like your 20-year-old self and your 30-year-old self are a lot more different than your 30-year-old self and your 40-year-old self. Not
I know.
necessarily like
How
your
do you know?
connection. Well, I guess I don't know because you're not 40 yet.
Well, you're 40. Let me know how you feel.
I'm not 40. Don't.
How did you feel at 20, Lance? 20 years ago.
Not 40. Asshole.
Uh,
So I'll definitely say that I have more of an awareness of myself
yeah.
now than I did at 20. I definitely kind of understand decisions I made in my 20s, in teens. I kind of have I know looking back on it, I understand. I didn't in the moment understand why I was doing it. I just knew, I was kind of gut feeling going for it. But looking back on it, I kind of like, okay, reliving that memory. I see why I did it this way, or why I said that, or why I went there, or why I reacted this way. So like I think as you get older, you gain more of an awareness of who you are, and I think over time, yeah, it just continues, and that's why I guess that's why I think that the differences get smaller and smaller because your awareness is growing with that, right? So
Yeah.
it's more encompassing of those 5 and 10 year differences between 30 and 40 than 20 and 30 and 10 and 30 and 10 and 20. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last thought I had. Was just I looked up and I saw that they had this huge age gap and like they really didn't. It wasn't touched on in the movie. I had to read that, and I just wondered what your thoughts were on his relationship to her possibly being different than her relationship to him.
Oh yeah. I think so for sure. Um,
I think one of the things I read is that he perceives her as a younger sister, and she perceives him as I don't want to say as a significant other.
is he? You said he's 39 in the.
That's what I looked up.
What I just looked up
Different.
is in the series anyway. He's 29, and like when the scene happens where they're both injured and like she loses her arms and he loses his arm. When that happens, he's 29 and she's 14.
Okay, so maybe 34 or 33 is what he is.
So 33 and 18.
Yeah.
It's a little better, I guess. I don't know. 15-year age gap. But when I first was watching it, not the movie, the series, but this is not gonna spoil anything. I thought the meaning of like "I love you" and everything when she's trying to understand that. Um, I first thought that was more of a father-daughter relationship, but over the course of obviously the series and the course of the movie, it's revealed it's not that, which that perception's kind of weird as well. I don't know how I feel about that.
It is weird. I guess I don't know. It's a touchy subject, and like I would wonder. Well, it's not a touchy subject. It is a subject that,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there's more context, and also we got to thinking this is a fictional universe, and so I don't know. Maybe
Well,
there's a
this,
reason that the
like I
author.
said, the series touches on it a lot as well. So, and I got more context throughout that. Um, and one episode's dedicated just to that. So,
It's historically, things like that. Like so,
we're
for instance,
normal.
yeah, well, they're normal. But like Beauty and the Beast, right? When I say Beauty and the Beast, you probably think of as I did, the
The
classic
Disney.
Disney movie, that we watched. Well, what that was based off of, was an old book that was written, or a story that was told. I'm probably gonna miss some of these details, but basically the premise of it was to help young women who are in an arranged marriage come to terms and and see that older man as more than a monster, as a companion that can take care of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's messed up.
and there's probably some details I'm missing in on that, but yeah, that was the backstory of Beauty and the Beast was a 13, 14, 15-year old in an arranged marriage with a 30 year old probably mid-20s 30-year-old male, and they're terrified because they're kids and they're like, this is a scary monster that I'm being given to, right? And then through Stockholm syndrome, you come to see them as more of a caregiver.
There's Stockholm syndrome, bro.
I said Stockholm syndrome. The story didn't say Stockholm
Yeah, I know,
syndrome.
bro.
That
I
was
looked
I
up like
for that.
for Beauty and the Beast. I just looked at Belle's age, and then also all the other Disney princesses popped up. Guess how old Belle is in the movie?
16.
Who? 16?
Yeah, that's my guess.
17. 17.
Yeah.
Ariel, 16. Cinderella, 19. A little better. Jasmine is 16. Tiana's 19. Princess Aurora's 16. Rapunzel's 18. All the new princesses are 18. Snow White, the very first Disney princess. Guess how old she was?
13.
14.
14. Yeah.
How old's that prince that kissed her? Real weird, bud.
Very weird. Very weird.
Jeez, man. That's messed up.
How far we've come as a
Aladdin. The girl from
species.
Jasmine from Aladdin's actually 15, not 16. Goodness gracious. Mulan is 16. Jesus. Mulan, Violet Evergarden is the new Mulan. Going to fight to war.
Yeah.
It's better. It's just better animated.
It's a better story too.
Oh, way better story.
And now the soundtrack though, Mulan soundtrack is
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
Mulan soundtrack kind of beats it out. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. How about you?
I think that covers everything.
Where does it rank as far as that and Psychopaths? You got to bring up Psychopaths in every episode, so. And I'm going to bring up Violet Evergarden in every episode. So.
Where does it rank in regards to Psychopaths? Oh well, I mean, it's really hard to top Robert McCullum's voice acting of Kogami, Shinya Kogami, Inspector.
Was
Shinya
Robert
Kogami.
McCullum in any of Violet Evergarden?
I didn't recognize his voice, so unless he, let me look this up here.
I'm looking too. It's so hard to type on this little phone. Bear with us, dear listeners.
Here, I'll just look up Violet Evergarden and then see if he is a voice actor in the cast.
There you go. I'm looking to see what voices he's done. Steel Magnus. Ooh, I think you'd like that. Africa Salaryman. I don't know. Oh, he's an Overlord. We still haven't watched Overlord. You like Overlord? Oh, give me. Seraph of the End. Oh, he's a bunch of that. He's in Tokyo Ghoul. Do you know that? Guess who plays in Tokyo Ghoul?
Plays the brother of
Arata Kirishima.
who?
Arata Kirishima. He is not in Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, I just found out.
That's sad. Oh well. You know, I guess he just wasn't that good enough to be in the one of the best animes of all time.
Opinion.
Opinion. He was in Dragon Ball Z a lot. That's good.
Thoughts
He's in
on
Summer
him?
Wars. He's in Summer Wars.
He's in Summer Wars. He plays the samurai, or the sword master.
That's cool.
Uh,
Well, I picked this last one. What do you want to watch for this next time?
Hold on, I'm trying to. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it because I couldn't spell it. I'm still looking for who
Wait, what?
he played in Tokyo Ghoul.
Arata Kirishima.
Oh, wrong thing. Oh no, I was wrong. Not the brother. It's their dad.
The husband of Hakura Kirishima, also father of Toka and
Yep.
Ayato. Yep. He's just a side character, you know. They only give good parts to. I mean, in Dragon Ball Z, he's Bio Broly. Okay.
I don't know what any of that means.
Exactly, because you haven't watched it.
Let's see here. Okay, so I picked, or you picked, so I'll pick. All right.
Yeah, I picked Violet Evergarden.
And
Granted, you picked the 5 before that, but it's okay. We made a bet. That's fine.
Let's see here.
You have stuff written down.
I have a watch list. Anytime I see a movie that I want to watch, I add it to, so I can.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so
There's a lot of new romance ones coming out too. Pretty exciting.
I know I have one set a reminder in coming out in January.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think we should. Well, here, let me show you. Let me look it up because I don't remember what I set the reminder for. So let me.
Okay.
Hmm. Oh, wait a minute. Did I lose it? Or am I wrong that it's in January? Oh no. Bell.
Bell?
Coming out on January. Belle is coming out on January.
But we're not watching that, right?
Why not?
You said it comes out in January.
Yeah, I'm saying we're gonna watch it when it comes out, January 14th.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just letting you know, like, we can't watch that for the
I know we can't watch it because it's not out yet. Duh.
Chase.
This might be a challenge since I don't have Prime. But
I mean, you do have Prime because I have Prime. What is it?
After the Rain.
That's a series.
It is?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it is. Let me make sure because I was trying to decide on that too, but I'm pretty sure when I click on it, on Prime. It pops up with episodes.
How about Makia when the promised flower blooms?
Yeah, we watch that one. I think that one's gonna be a good one. Yeah, After the Rain is definitely a series.
Okay. So let's do that. Let's watch Makia. Maquia. I hope I'm saying that right. Makia.
What was it called? Maquia?
Maquuia.
Maquuia. Oh, When the Promised Flower Blooms.
Hmm.
What's it on?
You can watch it on Prime,
Tubi.
Tubi
Oh, Prime
TV,
and Tubi.
and you
It looks
can
good. What's it about?
You know
Their
what?
youth through longevity and peaceful lives.
Yeah, I'm mostly basing it off of how it looks. I don't know anything about the story.
100% Rotten Tomatoes. Only probably because it only has like one view or one review.
Oh, another one we could watch is Ride Your Wave.
Ooh, that looks really good too. It's your choice. Whatever one.
Ooh.
Oh, 27 reviews. 100% on that one.
Let's do. Ooh, okay.
Is Spider-Man out yet? No, it's not
what?
out. It's not. Is Spider-Man out yet? I don't think it's out yet.
Oh,
All right, let's do what?
Oh, we could also do Bakemono no Ko.
It's not an anime, right?
It is.
No, I said a hanime.
Oh, anime.
That's not. Nothing. How you spell it?
Bakemono.
Bake.
Mono no Ko. Oh, I don't know. It might be just some weird isekai.
Yeah, I can't spell it, so.
All right. let's do When the Promised Flower Blooms.
Okay. We shall do that. All right. That sounds like a plan.
All right.
Well, we'll catch everyone next time. When we review. Oh gosh, you ruined it. Wait till I'm done talking and then say the bye.
I thought you were done talking. You paused.
No. I paused for dramatic effect. Okay, pause for dramatic effect. When we review Maquia When the Promised Flower Blooms.
I go now.
Yeah, you go now.
Okay. Bye.